Good morning. We're driving. It is the morning of Wednesday, September 15th. Definitely losing track of days. So after a super productive day yesterday where we did basically everything we wanted to finish up at Magic Kingdom, including Splash Mountain for I think the first time in our adult lives. We had that great dinner. We slept in a little bit this morning, very much on purpose. Got up around, well, we did get up at 7 to do the Rise of the Resistance lottery, basically, and I am happy to say we are group 22. So that's 3 for 3 for us, for me, specifically. Adam's gotten none of them.
You got the fastest fingers in Disney, Jeff.
Yeah, so the highest sporting group we got was group 34, which I know there's a ton of luck involved in this, but I am impressed and surprised, and obviously, like, I am one with the Force and the Force is one with me. So there you go. So yeah, we're off to Hollywood Studios. We had a little bit of an incident this morning in our room where like the kitchenette sink like burped up from the drain, like some dirt sludge mixture. Not pleasant. We reported it to the front desk and I'm sure they're gonna come fix it, but I didn't take a picture, but you can imagine what it looked like. And like completely unprompted, totally did it on its own. So fun. But yeah, so we're gonna go to Hollywood Studios. I want to get on Tower of Terror again, probably. There's a cool PhotoPass picture that I want to try to hunt down, but there's not a ton of goals for Hollywood Studios today. Adam's gonna get a breakfast Ronto wrap, so you know, that's the extent of what we have planned. We'll see where else the day takes us. And then we're gonna park hop over to Epcot. We have a Via Napoli reservation at 2 p.m. So a late lunch for us, but we're excited about that. We thought about going there on our 2019 trip, but we were with some friends that time and they wanted to do Teppan Edo, so we did that, which was awesome, and I'm glad we did it, and especially with a group, it was really fun, but it'll be nice to finally get to Via Napoli because obviously we've heard so much about it for years and years, and now we will get to try it. So that's the outline of our day. After Epcot, I don't really know the timing of everything. We might just go for Via Napoli and leave. Creation Shop is opening today. I don't do super great in dense crowds, which is part of the reason why we're here before the 50th. And since it is opening day, I'm not sure if I'm gonna peek my head in there or not. We will be in Epcot tomorrow, so there's always that opportunity. But we'll see. I mean, if we're towards that area of the park, I may just, you know, dip in and assess the situation. It would be cool to get into the new shop and see what they have to offer. But yeah, then we're gonna come back to the hotel, relax. Depending on the timing, maybe we'll hit up a lounge, maybe we won't. And then the big goal for today will be seeing Happily Ever After in the park, looking dead on the castle. So this will be our last proper Happily Ever After viewing from the park. And I refuse to think about that at the moment. So yeah, got a lot of fun things planned and we'll try to check in throughout the day. Hi from the parking lot of Bay Lake Tower. Adam's parking the car. There's bus noises. We're about to head out to Magic Kingdom. It's the evening of Wednesday now, so we actually had a pretty dang busy day. So this morning at Hollywood Studios, we were able to do Slinky Dog Dash. We did our Rise of the Resistance sporting group. And also, so we've done Rise 3 times on this trip and 3 times total now. Each one was a little different, which is interesting. We did Tower of Terror and we got some actually good big drops, which I'm really excited about. And we also did the first time in forever Frozen sing-along to take a break and get some AC.
Hello, and what better way to celebrate Arendelle than for the royal historians to share the story of our kingdom. Oh, and our queen, who just so happens to be my sister, Queen Elsa.
We did get breakfast, so Adam got his breakfast Ronto wrap. He said it was like elevated or better than Taco Bell, which I think is genuinely a compliment in his brain, but he did also say he liked the regular Ronto wrap much more than the breakfast one. I ended up getting breakfast, so 1, I don't really like breakfast food a ton. 2, there's not a lot of breakfast options in parks, especially not Hollywood Studios. Hey, so I got, sorry, we're trying not to get hit by cars. I ended up getting a buffalo chicken grilled cheese from ABC Commissary. It was, with the side, it was a little bit under $12. Honestly, like a surprise hit. It was pretty tasty. I would get it again. I would recommend it. It was very messy though. Lots of cheese bloop, but sort of in the best way possible. So yeah, we did a lot at Hollywood Studios in just a few hours. We wanted to hop over to Epcot and we're trying to time that out pretty well. We ended up being a little bit early, but basically we took the Skyliner over, and because we were gonna get at Epcot like a half hour before they let us in, we just stopped at the Riviera and we hung out in their air conditioning for a little bit. It's definitely a nice lobby, so no problems there. Then we headed into Epcot and went straight to our Via Napoli reservation. Oh, also, monorail. Nice. So at Via Napoli, first of all, restaurant was freezing. I didn't bring a sweater. If you wear like tank tops and shorts or whatever to the parks, bring something at Via Napoli because I was dying. But we split a Carpaccio pizza. I don't know how to say it, but it's a white sauce and it has artichokes and it was really tasty. So that was $50 total for the two of us for the pizza and just some waters and with tax and tip and everything. So not a terrible price. All right, just went through security for the walkway to Magic Kingdom. So right, that's pretty much all we did at Epcot. It had been a very sweaty morning. It wasn't necessarily that hot. I mean, it was hot, but mostly it was very humid. There was no cloud cover and basically no breeze. So we really wanted to get back to the room to shower, so we did that. We changed. Then we headed out to, the shadow's so cute. We headed out to Wilderness Lodge. We picked up the Wilderness Salad from Roaring Fork. It was good. It is like a pre-packaged salad, so beware of that. And ours had been made yesterday, not today, so the apples were a little not great. But the salad, the rest of it was really good. There were like candied walnuts and the croutons were tasty. And I think the walnuts had a little spice to them, which was nice and refreshing. And then we just hung out at Territory Lounge and had a drink, ate our salad, enjoyed the Wilderness Lodge. Now we're on our way to Magic Kingdom. So I think we're gonna try to squeeze in Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor because we tried to do that the other day, but it didn't open till 3 p.m. And we were at Magic Kingdom in the morning, so that wasn't gonna work with our schedule. So yeah, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, and then we'll stake out a spot for Happily Ever After. And I'll probably cry, but you know, I'll put some footage in maybe of the fireworks, not of my face. So yeah, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
I can't wait. Play, Ross. Hey, hey, hey.
And they all live happily ever after. Each of us has a dream, a heart's desire. It calls to us. And when we're brave enough to listen and bold enough to pursue, that dream will lead us on a journey to discover who we're meant to be. All we have to do is look inside our hearts and unlock the magic within.
Just look up and reach to the sky. We all have the courage to fly. You can fly.
Hi friends, we're back at the Bay Lake Tower room. So last we checked in, I think we were walking to Magic Kingdom. We did do Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. That was a really fun time. Funnily, by like 6:45 p.m., people were already all over the hub, like staking out their spots for Happily Ever After.
All the you know, lean against the rail wall seating spots gone.
The show started at 8:15 for reference, so hour and a half early, and we could have done that, but we were like, like we're not gonna get a rail at this point anyway, so we just went to do Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, and I'm glad that we chose that. It was really fun. It was a good time. And then we did meander over to the hub area. It took a while for us to get settled into a spot that we were happy with, just because of like super tall people and balloons and kids on shoulders and all that kind of stuff. So Yeah, we ended up in the front part, like right in front of the castle, but we weren't like at the castle, we were at the back edge of that portion, so we definitely couldn't see most of the fireworks, but we could see the projections very well. And since we saw fireworks from the California Grill last night, and we'll see them again from our theme park view room tomorrow night, I think that was a good choice.
Yeah, we wanted to prioritize kind of seeing the projections and the music, and it was really nice.
It was really nice. Also, they make you start squishing in like a half hour before, which seems a little early if you ask me. But regardless, by some miracle, like our section wasn't really that full.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of people who were still sitting down or ignoring those, you know,
Squish rules.
squish rules.
Right. Or more people maybe just wanted to be back behind us, because it didn't take very long for the street that sort of separates where we were and like the circle in the hub to fill up, and then like not very many people wanted to like come more forward. So we had a decent amount of space. Adam and I did both double mask though, because it was very crowded.
Yeah, you were still packed in.
It was easily like, I think the most crowded it's been that we've experienced at Disney World this whole time, or Universal, even over Labor Day.
100%.
And even in general, I would say crowds today felt higher than they have recently. Not that they were unmanageable or anything, but it did seem like more people were around. But yeah, so we watched Happily Ever After inside the park for the last time. And I only cried once, and it was pretty late. Normally, there's a lot of parts that sort of get me when Merida shoots her bow. For those of you who don't know, Merida is my favorite princess by far.
You just have to be brave enough to see it, and then your journey begins.
So her inclusion means a lot to me. I think the Hunchback scene and song sometimes gets me. The Hercules scene and song sometimes get me. But I made it through all of those. And then just once Tink was flying, I was like, oh my god, this is the last time I'm gonna sing this in the park. Yeah, it wasn't cute, but yeah, so it was really nice. It's just such a good show, and I'm sure Enchantment's gonna be great, and whatever comes after that's gonna be great, but you know, everyone has, I think, their formative Disney Magic Kingdom nighttime show, and like Happily Ever After is definitely that for me, so I am very sad. I'm really sad that it's going away, especially because it's only really been a few years. Like in our 2017 trip, it was still Wishes, I think.
Right.
So we just haven't had that many opportunities to be here and see it, but I'm glad we got to squeak it in, and we'll see it many different ways this trip. So we did the park tonight. Like I said earlier, we did Cali Grill. We also saw it from Astro Orbiter during Boo Bash, and then we'll see it from our room. So many Happily Ever After viewings of different flavors this trip. And then yeah, we just came back to the room. We felt the massive crowds coming out of Magic Kingdom, packed up a little bit because we are changing rooms, and then we headed back over to California Grill for a little nightcap. We just went to the lounge.
Yeah, we had a very early dinner, even though we had a lot of other food today.
Right.
But we wanted to try those beef wontons.
Oh yeah.
And they were delicious.
They were really good. They're very, like, Adam described it as like a really good ragu on the inside, which I think is appropriate. It's very beefy, meaty, like almost pasta saucy, but sans all the tomato-y parts.
Yeah.
But it has that kind of flavor profile, and the garnishes were delicious, and yeah, it was super good. You get 4 wontons for what it's worth, unlike the one ravioli. And yeah, we just had a couple drinks and wound down a little bit, and now we're back at the room. We're gonna pack up a little bit more, and tomorrow should be an exciting day. Tomorrow is our theme park view room day, so potentially the last Happily Ever After viewing. We don't really have Friday night slated out, so we'll see where it takes us, but I'm guessing it's not gonna take us back to Happily Ever After.
We'll see. Yeah,
We'll
TBD.
see. Yeah, it was a very hot and sweaty day, but we got a lot accomplished. We did 3 parks, we did 2 lounges, ate a lot of food, full and happy. So we will talk to you all tomorrow. If you want to follow along, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. You can hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. And then you can ring the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post new videos. And thanks so much to everyone who did leave a like on this video. It helps out so much. We really appreciate all of your interactions. I hope the rest of your day is super magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.
Bye.